Hi everybody, this is Sandy from Sandoodle's Desk. Long time no see. I haven't really been posting on my YouTube channel. Recently started posting a little bit more on to Instagram, and if you saw my recent post there, I had switched over back into a bullet journal for the month of August. I had originally filmed like setup video of why I switched to a bullet journal again and why I went back to an A6 size or pocket size. But that video I never published, and it is now September. So I thought I would refilm it, maybe do more of a real-time video to show you my thinking process when I set up each month, do a flip through of the pages I've already used, and also talk a little bit more about why I went back to a bullet journal. So just to start off, this isn't a new size completely for me. This is my planner that I used back in university. So I think I have I wrote the date in here. So this was from March of 2019, and you can see this is volume 7. I used to just label my notebooks like different volumes, but to be honest, I don't think I finished the notebooks or kept a good record of each notebook. So this is 7, but I don't know where 1 to 6 really is. But this notebook was my go-to. I used this for pretty much everything, and this was during my last year of university too. So I had a lot of notes going on. I had set up my monthlies in this method where I would just have a quick review, a small calendar, and just my general to-do list. And then each week I would have a sticky note to summarize what I have going on. But the majority of the book was really trying to find some nice pages. But I had packing lists, I had weekends on 2 pages. But I think most days I did to 1 page and just write about what I have to do that day. And this was using the grid notebook as well. You can see there's a little date at the top. So I wasn't a huge fan of that style, but I did like the size because it was so portable, so easy to throw into my backpack. So I have pretty fond memories of using a Leuchtturm A6 / pocket size. It's not necessarily A6, but I like that it's more rectangular versus a square of the A6, because I found that was one of the reasons why I found it kind of hard to use my Hobonichi or Stalogy for long term, is that the layouts just didn't work very well with it. Anyways, long story short, here's my A6. Let's just start off with a quick flip through of what I have so far and how I've been using it the last month. So the first thing I have in here is a little printout. This is like a pocket notebook or pocket rings printout from Peanuts Planner Co. I think it's from her undated yearly bundle. But what I've done is just use this as my perpetual calendar. I have my friends and family's birthdays on here, and then for any holidays that kind of change their dates every year, like Civic Day, for example, I have a little sticky note. I don't know if it's even visible, but a little sticky note thingy, so that I can move it each year. Oh, I don't even know when Civic Day was. Let's just choose the 5th. And it fit pretty perfectly on these grid lines. I think I had chopped them up so that it's a third for each of these. Oh, these sticky tab thingies. So it worked out really well. I'm using it as my perpetual calendar. And then here I have a little sticky note that just shows my color code. Sorry about the light changing. The sun is in and out. Canadian weather. But I have my color coding system here. I only record kind of major things into my table of contents, but I do have one started. I started off with a future log just to log some of my dates. My favorite method is using the Alistair method, and I'll just write the date in here. If it's somewhere in the future, like for 2024, I'll have a dot, and then I'll write the name of the event on the side. Have a mail tracker, shopping list. Oops, sorry, I keep hitting my head on my camera. For my July review, I kept it a little bit simpler because I feel like the pages here don't really fit a whole lot anyway, so I just have a little Polaroid printout of my friends and I, and then my August setup. Have just a standard monthly calendar. I think I'm going to keep all of this when I set up for September. Keep that. My library book tracker, I don't need another one, so I'm just going to continue using this because I haven't actually been to the library in a while. And then an exam kind of tracker because I have an exam coming up. I have my weeklies. All of my weeklies will have this bar across the top just so it helps me kind of relate all of the colors back to 1 month. So I have some things in between. I have a YouTube plan that I literally planned out my last video, but of course that didn't come to be. So I might be talking about a few of those things in here. Packing lists, more monthlies or weekly, sorry. I started an expense tracker so I can keep track of where my money is going to because we're trying to save up for a house and a wedding. It's just living now is just so difficult. So I'm trying to be better about my budget. I'm going to copy this layout but put it more towards the front before any of these like random note pages come to be. Just covered up some of that information for privacy's sake. Some work goals that I'm also gonna breeze over. Thinking of selling some press-on nails, so I have that. A workout plan that I didn't finish. Weeklies. This week I tried something different and I hate it. This was something actually very similar to the layout I use in my Stylogy and similar to what I used back in university, having the little like events corner in the page. I don't like it. It didn't work for me, so I'm actually gonna have to set up next week's, and I'm just gonna set up something like this again, and then I'll start into my September setup. Here's some like wedding planning stuff of me just looking into venue options, but that's all I have. For this video, I thought I could do a real-time video to show you my setup. Why are these two pages? These two pages are like glued together. I don't like that. Do I peel it? I guess I'll peel it. Sorry, I keep getting distracted, but I wanted to do a real-time setup video because I feel like one of the misconceptions, I guess, of bullet journaling is that it always takes too long. And as you can see, my system's very minimal. It's maybe a somewhat fancier banner and just text. And I think that's one of the pros that drew me back to bullet journaling is that when I'm very overwhelmed, I want something very bare bones. I want to be able to just flip to the next page and write a note and not worry about losing it or having it be on the wrong day. So that's why. And I really hope it doesn't get too boring. I'll probably put some, I don't know, music over this if it does get very quiet. I wouldn't necessarily call this ASMR either because I'm not doing very audible things. But I thought this could feel like if you and your friends just decided to meet up at a cafe, wanted to work on your bullet journals together. I really hope I stay in frame because one of the things I realized from my last video was that I write very angled. I'm sitting like straight, but I am writing like this. And it's not until I started filming a video I really realized that. So I'll try my best to not angle and try and keep everything in frame. I will do better. I swear. I really want to make more YouTube videos as I go into the rest of this year. Oops, that is red. Did not mean to use red. So yeah, I'm gonna start with my bar at the top. I don't actually know what the dates are, so I'm hopping over to my computer on the other screen. Let's see. So the dates I'm looking for are August 28th to, oh, I didn't leave a lot of space, up until September 3rd. It fits. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I think I'll just set up my weekly similar to these ones over here. Nothing too exotic. I've just been keeping some small tools on me so that I can do my layouts. Nothing too complicated, I don't think. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to count it every single time because I cannot remember. But that's okay. One thing I don't love about a dot grid is that sometimes it's hard to see, I think, like where you are. Because once you draw lines to connect your dots, you almost lose those dots and you're referencing kind of the further out dots. And I've always just had a problem with reading dot grid and writing, because I'm like, do I stay in between the dots? Do I go down to the bottom of the dot and then I'm like writing, oops, I swear I don't do this bad of a job when I'm not filming myself, and I can talk, but of course I can't talk and draw at the same time, and all I'm doing is drawing lines. 4, 5, here we go. If you're wondering what I am using, I'll have all of the information in the description box, but this is a zebra pencil. I actually got this one from, I think, yeah, this one was from the Planners Gonna Plan conference that I went to last year in September. I'm actually not sure if they're planning to do another conference for this year, but I really hope they do. I had a lot of fun. Honestly, I'm so shy and antisocial that I wish I was able to talk to more people. I feel like I wasn't able to necessarily put myself out there in the way that I had envisioned in my head. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, I'll make so many friends. I'll be able to meet them afterwards and have all of these great like coffee date days. But in reality, I sat by myself. I didn't go there with anyone else that I knew. Made friends, of course, with my table mates, but it was just, I don't know, there's something just hard with making friendships when you're out there. 3, 4, 5. I did try to mingle around, because when you finish eating, they give you quite a bit of time before your next event. And I was able to hand out like my contact cards and talk to a few people that way. I think having those stickers that I made was a really good conversation starter and a good way to get my name out there, just in the sense that who doesn't love free things? I mean, it's one of the reasons why I even went to the conference, was that I wanted to get free things. And honestly, I'm still using a ton of those items that I got, like those notebooks. I gave some away to friends, but you really do get a lot of swag. But I don't think that should be your main reason to go to events like that. It's really just to meet people. I'm just shy. Anyways, this is taking a little bit longer than I had intended it to, and probably one of my worst layouts, but you know what, it works. Just gonna change it up. Oh, I guess I should split. No, I'll keep my weekends together. I go back and forth on if I want to keep my weekend as one thing or as 2 boxes. This is so bad. But it's okay. I'm the only one who uses it. Yeah, so I switch between, but when I'm not too busy, I will combine it together. I say, but who knows? So let's see, 2 to 3. Let's just do something like that. There are 31 days? 30? I don't know. I guess I'll start on this side. 28 days. Monday, 29 of Tuesday. Maybe I shouldn't talk so much. But this is my first plan with me. And that is it. That is all I'm gonna do. I don't know what else to do. So I'm gonna leave it. Let's start on a new month. Yay. I'm gonna be referencing a lot, so I hope it doesn't get too whiplashy. I'm gonna grab my brown pen again. This one is the brush sign pen. Oh, I don't know if you can see. From Pentel, one of my favorite brush pens. Okay, July, August review. So let's do a little lettering. Not my best, but it's fine. A really loud truck is passing by. I hope you can't hear that. I pre-chose pink as my September color. Honestly, when I think of September, I'm actually thinking more of like these yellowy colors. So I don't know why in August I decided to go for like a yellow brown. But I figured I would do pink so that October I can do orange because pumpkins and Halloween. So these are kind of the colors I just picked out right off the bat. I'm gonna just start with a text. I don't know how I'm gonna line it up. I'm just gonna go for it here. September? Watch me spell it wrong and realize later it'll be too late. I think that's kind of even. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Maybe I'll write like 20, 23 to balance it. Look, it's balanced now. My favorite thing is adding the washi. This is a pack. I got like a whole pack of these from Amazon a really long time ago, but they're like really thin, maybe like a centimeter. No, it's like half a centimeter thick of a washi tape. They're actually, you can see the cardboard is like massive on these, but they do the job for when you want plain colored washi. Super great, super useful. Oh no, I ripped too early. Ugh, whatever. This gives me just a super quick visual view of where all of my months kind of lay. I even fold this super great, but that's fine. I'm not too picky. I used to draw like little florals or cover pages, but I just don't have the time for it anymore. So what I'm gonna do, ooh, well, I was really close to camera. I have this roll of washi stickers from Hubman and Chub Girl, and I used them for the previous month, so I guess I'm just gonna do a toast per month. Can't really choose. Like, I want this jam one. It's right here, but it's kind of hard to get into the middle of the roll, but they're individual stickers. Oh my gosh. Do I need tweezers? Okay, I got it. Sorry, the concentration that it takes for me to do this is way too much. But here's my little jelly toast. Oh my god, someone is screaming, or it's their dog. Should I do a little, oh, look at that, I'm an artiste. And that is it. That's all I'm gonna do. It's not anything complicated. Wow, that looks awful. Oh well. Oh well. Now let's set up my monthly by referencing back to what I did last month. So I wrote the name at the top corner. I can do that. Right? Yeah. Can you see? Okay, let's go. I've been a fan of this font or writing style where I have lowercase letters, but they're all the same height, like they're all constrained into one line. So then your letters that like extend down or up look a little funny. But I think it gives it a nice touch. And I've been using just a lot of pencil lately because I like how it's not as dark as when I use a pen. It's more forgivable, less pressure. So it looks like I did 4 by 4 squares. Okay, let's do that. How hard could this be, you know? Just gotta recreate things. I don't know how far. One, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do a little dot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I needed one more. I always hate when you have to add. It never looks right. This is right. This doesn't feel right. As much as I thought I was going to flip back and forth, this is way more than I thought. And then my second line. Okay. Let's see. What does the September calendar even look like? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows. 5 rows perfectly. I like to do my calendars with a Sunday start, but my weeklies with a Monday, which is why this system worked so well for me. I got to kind of customize those 2 different views. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, this is gonna be really hard. Should I just switch to a bigger ruler? Why am I doing this to myself? I'm gonna switch to a bigger ruler because it's literally right next to me. Ooh. Of course I went for like my biggest ruler, 18 inches. It'll be fine. It's fine. I went too far on both sides. It's okay. So like I said, I hate using dot grid because you can barely see. I don't even know if you would have been able to see. But this tick line that I made earlier to show me where the 4 square mark is, I have no idea where it is. It's just disappeared into the oblivion. I think it still went over by 1. Oh, this is also slanted. Oh well. Oops. I am clearly not made to do this, but it can only go up from here. Am I right? I am fairly easygoing with my spreads. I'm not going to be too picky over some uneven lines, but I am picky in the sense that I want my initial setup to look good, or at least I'm using a ruler and not messing that up. Maybe if I, yeah. I can't do this free-handed. I already struggle when I have to do like headers and I'm doing like a line all across the page, as you could probably tell from the beginning of this. I would love to know if you preferred this style of a video, or I could also do voiceovers. I could do quick, like sped up versions. I just thought I would try my hand at doing a slightly longer video. This of course is easy for me because I don't have to edit it down, really. Maybe cutting off a few seconds from the beginning when I can't talk, but I would love to know any feedback, because I've had quite a few followers that, or subscribers that started following me while I was in my little hiatus period. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're wondering why I was gone, I had shut down my Etsy shop earlier this year because I had an exam to study for. I actually didn't end up taking that exam. I'm trying to take the next sitting for it in September. So I've been studying, but other than that, I generally like to take a small break in summer. It's when I have maybe like vacations or more plans with others that just take up my hobby time. I did end up starting a new job, which has been really great for my own mental health. My old job was not the most great in terms of hours, and I just felt that I was spending a lot of my time working on things that weren't necessarily being appreciated or benefiting my own career. So I'm super glad I was able to make the change this summer. It's been a month at the new job. I can see my back knee clearing up and my mental health just coming back. I feel like I have more energy now. I've been cooking better, eating better, exercising better. So everything has been a lot better. I also went to Japan back in May, which is another video that I filmed but never released, was my Japan haul of all of the cute things I got. So that never got released. Sorry, I'm choosing a color. I'm gonna go with the darker pink. That never got released, but I got engaged in Japan, which was super exciting. I love the trip, and I think this just made the memory so much more special. So now that it's been 3-4 months of being engaged, I feel like I have to start looking into weddings. It's that time of my life where I feel like a lot of my friends are getting married, getting engaged, even some starting to have kids, that I just feel a little bit more pressure to start looking into these things for myself as well. I know it's not something that I should really put myself on a timeline for, but it's really hard, and you can't help yourself but to compare to others, and it's a habit I'm trying to break because I feel like it is not productive. I come off petty or competitive, and I really don't want to be seen like that by friends or even just strangers. I don't want that to be the lasting impression, so that if somebody met me for the first time, all they could think about is how I spent the whole time comparing my looks or my intelligence to someone else, when it is not a topic for discussion. And sometimes I'll bring up these things myself. It's just not a productive habit, and I really want to break that. Okay, so I've put in all of my dates. That's not right. Okay, yeah, it is. Oh my god, this scared me. Okay, now let's write in Sunday. Oops. I hate writing on the side of the page when you've used like less of the book compared to this side, because everything is like bopping up and down. Doesn't look as good. but no one really sees this book outside myself. So it just has to be something that I can live with for a small moment of my life. All right, there we go. And I'm not gonna fill in any dates because honestly, it's not even September. I don't want to think about it yet. I don't want to go that far into my life. Oh, the expenses. Right. This I am gonna set up. So what did I do? I wrote expenses. Okay. Of course I did, Sandy. That's the only monthly page I think I'll need for the next little bit, and then I'll just set up the monthly when I get to, I guess, the second week of September now. And this is only the things that go out from my credit card. I don't really use cash or like debit at all, but I would record those. It's really my spendings, not necessarily what goes in and out of my bank account, which is why I call it expenses and not like budgeting, or I don't even know what other name I would call it. Okay, so let's start it there. What did I do? Okay, so I went pretty much straight across. I'm gonna reserve 2 pages. Would I need 2 pages if I'm trying to cut down on my spendings? Okay, I'm gonna set up 1 page for now, because that's actually what I did on the August page, was that I only set up 1 page. So if towards the end of the month I feel like I'm not going to need the page, I converted it. I would have just converted it to any other notes page or like a doodle page as things come up. So yeah, I'll just stick with doing 1 page for now. Maybe it'll encourage me to try and live within the means of 1 page. Because this is all just tracking my fun money / extra spendings, and how much it takes me to live on. It's one of the things I'm working with my financial advisor on since I switched jobs, is that I have to organize all of my savings accounts. So this requires me to kind of reevaluate how much I've been adding to my savings account each month and seeing if I should try and put more into the account, like investing a bigger amount in to meet my investment goals, or if I'm putting too much in, especially now that I'm looking into things like spending on a wedding, which is insanely expensive in Toronto. Maybe this is average. I definitely had sticker shock when I talked to an event planner just about general costs of what things are like in the city, and I was not prepared to hear everything. So the categories that I have here are just the D for date. So I would just write the number for the date, the amount that I spent. I wrote C, but it's to represent category. So I've color coded it either as like grocery, necessity, or like unnecessary spendings, and then the detail. And that's it. I know this video is long. I'm actually just gonna use my giant scissors and crop off the little corners. I know this video seems long, but it's only because I in chatting and taking my time with things, which I feel like is both good and bad. I feel like my lettering looks better than it would if I maybe wasn't on screen. It's actually not that great. But my lines are so wonky. Okay. I was gonna do a flip through of my September setup, but it's just, that's it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for it being such a mess. If you like this style of video and would like me to continue this, or would like any changes, maybe I talk too much, maybe you want me to talk more, might have some better topics, please let me know. I would love to hear some more feedback, and I hope to see you again. Thanks. Bye.